Hello, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the boxing capital of the world. Well, today I have a special guest on the show, somebody that I feel like when I was starting back in the days when I was a fighter, coming up the ranks, I was always striving to try to be the best at what I was doing in the amateurs. Then I turned pro. And this young man is a professional fighter with 2 professional fights under his belt. So he's just starting out in the pros. But I want to just welcome to the show, Eliso Duran Jr.
Yes, sir.
Eliso, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today. And it's good to have a young fighter on the show who can talk to us about your experiences in boxing.
Yeah.
Tell us, first of all, where you from originally?
I was born in Tucson, Arizona. Lived in El Paso, Texas for a little bit, and then moved over here to Vegas when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
What got you started into boxing?
I'm just watching it, watching all these fights, big fights with my dad, the family parties that my dad would have at his house. And, they have little footage of me, shadow boxing, Oscar De La Hoya's in the background fighting, Tito Trinidad, and, and then Floyd Mayweather came around too. So, yeah, always watching them watch the big fights, and I was very interested at a young age.
So you said you had a dream. You said, I want to be like those guys?
I want to be like those big guys on the TV one day in the spotlight, yeah.
Okay, well, you're 2-0.
Yeah.
What, 1 win and 2 wins?
2 wins.
1 decision, 1 knockout, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So tell me, how do you do in the amateurs?
It was a good amateur experience. It was I did maybe like roughly around 90 fights, and probably like 70-something wins, 75 wins, something like that. So like 15 losses around there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really good.
So with those losses, you learn a lot from those losses, right?
Yeah.
I remember there was a fighter back in the day. I don't remember his name, but he's a professional fighter.
Yeah.
He had a 15-15 record.
Yeah.
And ended up becoming a world champion. So from then on, he was like, apparently the first half of that career, he didn't have a good trainer.
Right.
Then when he got the right trainer, he made him a championship fighter.
Yeah.
I forgot his name offhand, but any you guys out there remember the name of a fighter? I think it's, I would say Ivan Robinson, but I'm not sure. Okay. I think it was somebody else, but it was somebody from the East Coast and ended up to being a world champion. Anyway, so tell us, now you've been here in Vegas and you're training. Where are you training at right now?
I was training, I'm training, right now, the Salas Boxing Academy, and then right now, doing some workouts in my dad's, backyard and stuff right now. It's just staying busy after my fight.
What kind of work is that?
The training.
No, what kind of work you say your father?
Oh, yeah, my father, he does marble and granite. He owns a company. He has his own company. He does a lot of marble and granite,
Okay.
Yeah. So I work part-time right now with him.
Well, that's good. You need a little part-time. When you're a professional fighter, you're kind of more dedicated to your profession.
Yeah, exactly.
So good thing you have a father who's helping you out with the part-time work. That's good.
Yeah, he helps me out a lot. So it's a big blessing to me to have a father like him.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're the only son in the family, or is there more?
What do you mean?
How many more children in the family?
Oh, I have 2 sisters.
2 sisters.
Yeah, Mia and Bella.
Okay.
Yeah, one's Mia is like she just turned 19 2 days ago, 2 days ago. And my other sister, Bella, she's a wrestler in high school right now.
A wrestler in high school?
Yeah, Cimarron Memorial High School. She wrestles out there. Been doing it for like 2 years, 3 years almost. So.
Wow, so there's a lot of sports individuals in the family.
Yeah, my sister too. She got hands. She could fight. Yeah, she could fight.
Has she thought about going into MMA maybe?
Oh, my other little sister is Bella?
The one who's the wrestler.
Oh, yeah, her. Yeah. She's thinking about it. She's doing good. You can see a big difference from when she started and right now when she's like, starting to get the hang of it.
Does she rather do MMA or boxing?
Let's see. I think she'll rather do like MMA, jiu-jitsu, maybe wrestling. Yeah. It starts from wrestling. So
yeah.
It's all American sport. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Now, who are your favorite fighters today that you watch in today's game?
Today's game? Man, there's a lot of talent out there, It has to be. One of them is, David Benavidez. I like him. He's a big guy, and he bullies these guys.
He's a 168-pounder?
Yeah. Makes it look easy.
He has a brother, too, right?
Yeah. I think it's Jose or something. Yeah. He's really good, too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a lot of respect to those.
I think he's a 154-pounder.
Right. He just fought Danny Garcia.
Yeah. And who else is out there? I mean, there's a lot of lightweight fighters out there.
A lot of lightweight
And
fighters.
what weight class are you fighting in right now?
147.
147.
So there's Errol Spence.
Errol Spence.
And I got a good opportunity to spar Ugas. I sparred Ugas before the Pacquiao fight.
Yeah.
I was getting him ready for the Pacquiao fight. Sparred him like at least 10 times.
Yeah. How do you do it? 10 times you spar with him? 10 different occasions.
Yeah, different occasions.
How many rounds do you spar? Every time we have training, you spar. How many rounds you normally go with a fighter like that, like Ugas?
Ugas, he'll give me like 3-4 rounds. He got other sparring partners there, but with Ugas, me and him would do 4 solid rounds.
Yeah.
Really
how do you handle yourself with him? Because he was a pretty decent fighter.
He's a great fighter.
He beat Sean Porter.
Sean Porter, he beat him.
He beat Sean Porter for the championship.
No, he's a really great fighter.
Yeah, Ugas became world champion by beating. Matter of fact, he stopped Sean Porter. Was it?
Yeah. They actually gave Sean Porter the fight, but
exactly.
Ugas won.
Ugas won. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of people felt Ugas won, but they gave the fight to Porter.
Right. That's what happened.
And Porter ended up fighting Errol Spence.
Errol Spence.
And Errol Spence stopped him.
Yeah. And they stopped him,
Yeah, and then Sean Porter decided to retire.
Yeah.
But Ugas was up there in the mix, and he ended up becoming world champion.
Yeah. And he ended up shocking everybody, beating Pacquiao. Yeah, he was a little on the end of his career, but he still beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that you're into the game of boxing and what advice can you give to young fighters out there watching? Because a lot of fighters out there watch you and say, well, okay, he's on with Joe Cortez on the show.
Right.
We're talking about fight. What advice can you give to young fighters that want to get a start in boxing?
It takes a lot of self-discipline and a lot of sacrifice, too. You always got to, sacrifice, even just events, family. Even from your to your diet, you got to sacrifice, eating good food. You got to be strict on your discipline, your diet, whatever you take in, your body needs. And just believing in yourself, trusting God, praying, and working hard.
Okay, now, as we all know, as a fighter, there's a lot of dedication into the sport.
Yeah.
Your whole life, basically, you eat, sleep, and dream. Eat everything got to do with boxing.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a DNA test on me right now. They find in my bloodstream is boxing.
Right.
And that's the way it is, because you give it all you have. And you have to get up in the morning. You do your road work in the morning.
Yeah, I do.
What time you get up in the morning to go running?
I'll be waking up probably, it could be from sometimes 4, 5, 6 o'clock, I go run 6 miles. I could run 6 miles in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you do how many times a week?
I get at least 5.
5 times a week.
4 to 5.
And how many hours do you train in the gym when you go to how many days a week do you go to the gym?
Okay.
And how many hours?
At least 5 days, Monday through Friday. Sometimes Saturday you want to work out too. So 6 days out of the week you work out. I'll show up to the gym. It could be from, an hour and a half to 2 hours every single day.
Right.
And minus the road work, you got to train at the gym. And then I would do strength and conditioning too. Sometimes after, even separate from the gym. Right. So that'd be another 2 hours.
Now, there's a lot of young fighters out there, you know, and I know in boxing, a lot of fighters, they get to a certain level in life, and then they think that they're not their champions, and they take it a little light. They don't train as hard, maybe, and they start partying and drinking and whatnot. And what happens then?
Oh, what happens then when
you do all these things that you shouldn't be doing?
You're gonna go. It's your downfall right there. You don't wanna stay off that. You're doing so good on that path, and for you to just mess up like that, it's not the best feeling in the world.
That's where a lot of fighters they end up losing their titles, and the whole life changed around because you have a short window, 10-year window, really, in professional boxing. Mm-hmm. It's not a long career. Some guys end up fighting 15, 20, like Pacquiao end up fighting 20 years in the pros.
Right.
But I say a good 10 to 15 years is the most you're going to get out of boxing, that you put into it. Mm-hmm. But you have to also try to say to yourself, I got to dedicate myself. A lot of people don't realize the dedication it takes to be a professional fighter.
Yeah.
There's weddings you can't go to, funerals. Yeah. Birthday parties, a lot of things that you can't attend because you're already setting your pattern for your training, your training every day, people don't realize that you got a fight coming up.
Yeah.
You can't deviate from your training to go to a party and go out there and they'll give you a drink, 2 drinks, and you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
People are just doing the wrong things.
Yeah.
And you get mixed up in that, and you go out there and fight and you lose.
Exactly.
And you wonder what the hell happened to him. He was training so hard. He messed up one night.
Right.
One night he messed up.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. And they he went out with his girls, and they went up, and they were out all night long. Who knows what they were doing?
Right.
And you lose it all.
Yeah, you lose
all
it
that
all.
training you put into, you lose it in a couple of hours messing around.
Just to get, just to
get that
go out there.
satisfaction, have a
There you
little
go.
fun.
Exactly.
And you don't need that.
You don't need that. You need to stay on that.
And that's what a lot of fans don't understand. You have to dedicate yourself a lot of sacrifices that go in behind the scenes. A lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes in boxing, getting ready, the preparation for a fight.
Honestly, yeah.
Okay. Now, what is your best style of fighter? You're a boxer, puncher, or you're a slugger? You're a slick boxer? What are you?
When it comes...
A combination of both.
Yeah, like a combination of both. When it comes down to, I could box. I prefer to box, and I'll box you, and be defensive and, be slick.
Yeah.
But obviously, when you got to fight, you got to buckle down sometimes, and you got to scrap it out sometimes. So
yeah, but
I could do that too.
I don't see any scars on your face.
Yeah, no.
I don't see any cuts there.
Good defense.
Good defense.
Yeah,
That's
good
important.
defense. That's very important. We were talking about that.
All those years in the amateurs and the years in the pros.
Yeah, and nothing, no scars, no cuts, no knockdowns, no nothing like that. Just
Yeah, that's where you want to be.
Right.
A lot of fighters, sometimes they take a little bit too much. I call it unnecessary punishment sometimes.
Yeah.
When a referee sometimes just stop a fight.
Right.
Like, when I would go into the ring, before I go into the ring, I already have prepared myself going into the ring. I already give the pre-fight instructions to the fighters back in the dressing room. And that's why I take control back there.
Yeah.
And make sure that you know where I'm coming from as far as my referee, what I expect of you. I don't want any low punches, any headbutts, punches behind the head, spitting the mouthpiece out intentionally, hitting low blows, hitting your opponent while he's down. Well, that can cause you points.
Right.
Or you may be disqualified.
Yeah.
I'll give you some light warnings. However, after some light warnings, it'll be a strong warning. After that, it can be a point deduction.
Yeah.
Now, if I think a foul is committed intentionally, I will take a point without any warnings, because that's what you call a flagrant foul. So, all those things that we as referee have to explain to the fighters in the dressing room, and this is a lot of fans don't know this. That's why one of my next projects is going to be talking about educating the fans on the rules, what goes on behind the scenes, the rules of boxing. Because a lot of fans love boxing, but they don't understand certain things. Yeah. Like I can ask you a question right now, and I know I'm going to throw you off. And this happens, and it's normal because a lot of people don't know these answers, and they're in the game themselves.
Yeah.
If 2 fighters get hit at the same time, they both go down. Okay?
Yeah. It's a trick question.
What can happen? I start counting, the referee starts counting. I count this guy, 7, 8, he gets up, and the other guy is still down. What do I do?
You think the one that beats the count wins, right?
No, but the guy's already up, but this guy's still down.
Oh, he's still down.
Okay, he's still down, and I reach up to 7 on him, and this guy's down there.
Yeah.
What, do I start with 1 with him, or do I pick up where I left off with the other guy? You see, so these are kind of questions, tricky questions that fans don't even know about. Yeah. So if I stop with him at 7, he's up. With the other guy, I go 8, 9, 10. Okay, he didn't get up. Right. So he lost by knockout. But this guy beat the count. Now, if they both get knocked down and they both don't make the count, what is it? What do you call it? You see? So you call it a double knockout.
No way.
Double knockout. They both got knocked out. You can't call it a draw. Because if you're calling a draw where a guy got knocked out, you're going to call it a draw?
Right.
It's a double knockout. So it goes down the record book. He got KO'd that night, and his opponent got KO'd. You can't put down a draw because then for the records, it looks like he fought a draw to a fight. No, the guy was knocked out cold. The other guy was knocked out cold. How can you call it a draw? It's a double knockout. So it goes on the record book, a double knockout. When it goes on the history of the fighter, you're going to find out if he goes to fight at another location, they want to look up his history or his last fight. It was not a draw, it was a knockout, you see? So now the commission now has to take precaution and say, okay, he got knocked out less than 30 days ago, but it shows here that he got a draw. See, so that's why a knockout has to be jotted down on the record book as a knockout, so for his own safety and to know that he did not fight a draw. He got knocked out, period.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is what a lot of things people don't know about. That's why I want to try to educate the fans a little bit about what goes on behind the scene.
Yeah.
When does the referee call in the doctor?
Right.
When does the referee start taking points?
Yeah.
When you get the light warnings, strong warnings, and knockdowns. So all these things are so important that the fans should know. It's like, you tell me, Joe, we're going to watch football. Talking about football, my grandson, Bryce Hampton, Saturday night, this coming Saturday night, he plays with Purdue University, and they're playing against Michigan for the championship. They won the Western Conference last Saturday. This coming Saturday, they play for the championship. But you tell me, Joe, scoring about football, I know squat about the game, but I watch it. My daughters know more about football than I do because I never really got into it. And I like it now that my grandson's playing football, but I don't know the rules, you see. And it would be more interesting if I knew the rules. Somebody would teach me more, just like I want to teach you guys the rules on boxing. You like it, but you don't know the rules. I just say you like it and you know the rules, and makes it that much better. You know, so that's what I'm going to be doing next.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
All right. Maybe I'll bring you on next time again. We'll talk a little bit more
for sure.
about the rules on boxing and what goes on behind the scenes.
You got to put me on game.
Okay. So now tell me, how do you see the game of sport of boxing today as it was when you first started out as a young teenager? Is there a big difference in boxing today, or is it different as it was? How do you see the rules, is it more stricter? Are the commission taking more precautionary measures when it comes to the safety of the fighters? The rules are being enforced more on the rules.
Oh, yeah.
Now they got instant replay that they didn't have before.
Right.
What do you think about the instant replay?
Instant replay? I mean, it's a big difference from back then and now. So, yeah, they are taking care of the fighters better now, for sure.
Yeah. Now, instant replay, we have now here started in Nevada. Yeah. We actually started back in New Jersey. Yeah. Larry has a commissioner in New Jersey. We started to do it there in New Jersey. But now they're kind of more enforcing the rules with the instant replay here in Nevada. And, of course, instant replay, if a fighter gets hit with a punch, and actually it was more of a slip. Yeah. He got slipped. He got caught up in the guy's leg, and he went down. And the referee called it a knockdown. And I said, "Wait a minute! I put on a yellow light on the ring apron, and then bring the attention to the referee and the other side, the timekeeper on the other side of the ring. Yeah. He puts up a yellow light. The lights are flashing, and the referee sees that, and he calls time. And he calls time when it's low in the action. He calls time. Yeah. And we're going to see. Go up to the ring apron. I told her the referee, listen, you called out a knockdown, and actually it was a slip. Wow. He got caught up on the trip. Yeah. So he could go back. The referee goes to the judges on the further review. Don't call that a knockdown. Call it it was a slip. So he raised a knockdown, not a knockdown. Yeah. This way you make sure the guy wins a round fair and square,
The points add up, round by round.
Because that one point can make the difference of the fight,
Right.
So that's what we make maybe there was a punch that came and the referee thought he got hit with the head. He called it was a headbutt, and actually it was a punch.
Right.
Or vice versa. Yeah. It was a headbutt and not a punch. So that's why we try to make those corrections now. And these are the changes we make in boxing now to make sure that the right guy wins the fight. We don't see the guy, but the referee's only human. He only could call what he sees. But the referees now here in Nevada, they understand that there's a review taking place there. Everything stops right there. Yeah. The fighter stops throwing punches. Everything stops. Then when we make the final revision, then we let it continue again. But that's how it is. These are good things. So these are things I'm asking you. What do you see in boxing today? These are the differences that we have today. Yeah. I know you only just starting out in the pros. Right. Only 2 pro fights under your belt.
Still learning a lot.
But you're gonna learn a lot, and there's a lot of things going to be going down the line.
A lot of things are going to change too as I'm fighting.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's big differences in the fight game.
And always listen to the referee. The referee tells you about watching your headbutt. When he goes in the dress room, give you the rules and whatnot. Watch your headbutt, no hitting behind the head. But a lot of fighters, they like to hit behind the head. Oh, yeah. They get in the clinch, it hits behind it. The other guy hits him behind it. Yeah. They both hit him behind the head. That's a very dangerous area to get hit. Yeah. And we don't want that because we don't want to see fighters retire from boxing and walking on their heels. They don't even know where they're at. Yeah. They can't even talk correctly because they took too many punches to the head. The punches to the head are very illegal punches. And we make sure that when they give the instructions to the fighters in the dressing room, that they bring it to your attention of not hitting behind the head. And when you start hitting behind the head, there'll be point deductions.
Yeah, if not disqualification, Yeah, because there's a lot of dirty fighters trying to get you. hurt.
Yeah, they either try to go with low blows or the excessive holding, hitting behind the head, headbutts. All these kind of flagrant fouls is not permitted in boxing.
Right. There's a lot of tricks now.
A lot of tricks. And are you as a fighter, do you see that the referees are more strict today than they are years ago? Or is it pretty much the same? How do you see it?
So, it depends. Yeah, sometimes I see the ref really, really strict, really, really strict. And he's on point with it. And then sometimes other fights I see like he should have stepped in a little earlier, watched the fighter a little bit more. But yeah, it all depends too on the on the fight, on the ref. But I feel like it's the same. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that we learned along, I know when I started refereeing back in 1977, we were not as lenient, as far as taking points. I mean, I think today we are more forceful, taking points a little bit more quicker than we did before. I would rather stop a punch too soon than a punch too late. Sometimes you let these fighters go a little too long, and they get some punishment, and then they end up in a coma, getting hurt sometimes. And we don't want any black guys in boxing, because these are things that we don't want. We'll see you guys come back another day.
Yeah.
But sometimes you see some referees, because they're inexperienced or they're not prepared enough to go into the fights to be a professional referee.
Yeah.
They let fights go a little too long.
Right.
Or sometimes they make the bad calls,
Yeah.
Or they don't know the rules and excessive holding, and how many times you're gonna let it hit him low blows before you start taking points. Do you give any warnings before you took a point?
Right.
You got to set up a pattern. But like I said before, that anything flagrant, there are no warnings. Just take a point.
Yeah.
Sometimes the guy's getting hurt and he's looking for a way out. So what he does, he goes with a low blow, so the referee the other guy can stop, because if you get hit with a low blow, it can hurt you. And he calls time. And now he's recuperating because of that low blow. So the referee now should take points away from him for that. He intentionally he low blow his opponent to get a break.
Very true.
Now, he might have saved himself from getting knocked out.
He did.
But you know what? But he got a point deducted.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2 points, depending the severity of the foul.
Yeah.
And this is what happens in boxing. But there's a lot of commissions and a lot of referees around the country that still have to learn a little bit more of what goes on behind the scenes. If you don't get that many fights in your state, whether let's say down south, North Carolina, Arizona, different states that have very little fights, they're not accustomed to working on a regular basis like they are in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Nevada, California. They get a lot of fights, so they're pretty much on top of the game. They know what goes on, what action has to be taken. But some of these states don't have that luxury of having that many fights.
Yeah.
So they don't call it. They miss a lot. So when it comes to a crucial moment, something serious happens, they're kind of mixed up. They don't know. The referee doesn't know. Sometimes the commissioner doesn't know.
Right.
Because they're not practicing enough.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so important that referees, judges, commissioners, timekeepers, inspectors, ringside doctor attend seminars on a regular basis, just so you can see what goes on. Go to as many seminars as possible with the WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF. They have seminars, and then you have the ABC give training programs for officials. You should attend those as many as you can as officials, so that fighters like Eliso, Duran, who's trying to make it in boxing, gets the right call. You won't have a referee or a judge or a commission doctor or make the wrong calls and cost him his fight that night, maybe a big purse for the next fight, or even possibly a shot at the championship fight. You won't get that because somebody made a mistake. That's why it's so important to try to learn as much as you can from veteran officials that are out there, giving seminars, training classes, all about boxing, because it's so important to know the rules and how to protect these fighters, making sure they come back another day.
Yeah.
Well, what do you see on the horizon for you in the near future? Anything for you, fights coming up soon?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be fighting like in a month or two. I see myself, just really gaining more experience, getting used to it, getting in my, my flow to, stay tuned up, stay getting ready to fight more and more. Stay sparring, staying in shape, staying at my weight, and just growing just growing as a fighter and as a person, you know.
Good, good. Now, if somebody wants to see something on you, can they find anything on YouTube, anything about any of your fights?
Yeah,
whether it was amateur, professional.
yeah. There's my last fight. They put it on YouTube. You could just search up my name, Eliso Duran Jr., and you could find it. Probably you'll find it.
Duran Jr.
Yeah, you'll find it on there on YouTube, and it pops up the whole fight. It's a cool little angle that they have over. Good cameraman.
Is that a fight that you went for the decision or you went for the knockout?
That was the decision. So you're gonna see 4 full rounds.
4 full rounds.
Yeah, the last fight before that, I got him out of there in the first round, 3 knockdowns. So yeah.
Yeah. So you have good skills. We're gonna see you. You're gonna prove to us what you got, right?
Yeah, you guys are gonna see for sure. You guys are gonna see a lot of greatness for sure.
So we should remember that name, Eliso Duran Jr. Eh?
Yeah, Roberto Duran is the legend, and I can't compare myself to him, but maybe one day you guys will, for sure.
Okay, good to hear that. But you're not related to him in any way.
Not related, no.
That you know
in any way. that I know of. Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Duran. Now your father not related to him in any way?
No, I don't. No, my dad's.
What's your nationality? What's your background?
Just my dad, is from East LA. I'm Mexican, and my mom was born. She's American basically. So yeah, she was born over here. So
okay.
Yeah.
But Mexican have blood.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah, Mexican on both sides. So.
Pura sangre.
Yeah, pura
Mexicana.
For sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Los mexicanos se fajan.
Yeah.
Mexican, they're really warriors.
Warriors. Yeah.
They're warriors.
Fight
don't back
anything.
down.
We won't back down for nothing. For sure.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So what advice can you give to young kids out there that are watching the show, want to learn a little bit about what a good advice will you give these young kids out there?
The best advice is just stay, trust your gut and keep doing what you got to do. Don't follow anybody's, if they're trying to steer you the wrong way and they're trying to make you not go to the gym, not make you go back to the gym, and trying to keep you away from the gym, keep you outside and not do anything, then, you don't listen to those people. They could really have a big influence on you. So you know what you got to do. You got to stay in the gym. You got to do whatever you want to do in life. That's what you got to keep doing.
And don't do what? Don't do drugs.
Oh yeah, don't do drugs. Don't do it. You don't want to drink alcohol. You don't want to do nothing. Don't touch anything. Just stay on that right path. You got to be very disciplined, and there's a lot of sacrifices, but it's all worth it at the end. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I brought Eliso on the show, even though he only has 2 professional fights on his belt. But I believe in giving everybody an opportunity to talk about their dreams and their upbringing and what they see in boxing. Because I came up the same way too, with amateur fights and then coming out with 2 fights under my belt. I remember those days.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first did my first world championship fight. Right. To me, it was like I was kind of. They interviewed me. They said, "Joe, up in Vancouver, I was doing Michael Spinks against Oscar Rivera De Niro, and they asked me, Joe, how many fights you have?" I was kind of embarrassed to tell them I only had 1, because it was Aaron Pryor against Miguel Montilla, which was my first world title fight as a referee in Atlantic City. Montilla got stopped in the 11th round. I stopped in the 11th round.
Yeah.
But so you have only 2 fights under your belt. I said, I'm gonna put you under the pressure by bringing you on the show with only 2 fights under your belt.
Right.
But you handle yourself very well, talking to the viewers out there, talking to these young kids, which is what I want. I want you to give that good advice to these young kids that is so much needed these days. Yeah. There's so many crimes going on in all these cities.
A lot going on in the world.
A lot more crimes today than I've ever seen before. Yeah. And I thought I grew up in a tough era back in the 60s and 70s. But it's a little tougher today.
Yeah.
These guys that commit crimes and they don't get the time in jail, and they a couple of weeks, a couple of days. Sometimes they don't even send you to jail.
Right.
Sometimes they put you on probation, if that. I mean, so that's why I want to put on these shows with young folks like Eliso to show you that there's young folks like him that are inspiration to a lot of youth out there watching and listening. And I wanted you to listen to him about his upbringing and where he's going in the very near future.
Hey,
Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, I just really appreciate you, Joe Cortez. It's the Hall of Famer right here, the legend. Just meeting him out of nowhere, means a lot.
Oh,
and
Well-
being here with you on the show. Means a lot.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
being on the show today, Eliso. We hope you the very best. And for you fans out there, keep your guards up at all time.
Oh, yeah.
Wish you a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and a prosperous New Year. We'll catch you next week. Take care. God bless. Keep your guards up at all times.
sir.
Protect yourselves at all times. Take care. See you next week.